Well, greetings, thank you for joining Science Broadcast, brought to you by Fifth Dimension. Seems like it's darker than it used to be. Oh well, we'll work on that later. I haven't changed anything. Alright, thank you for joining Science Broadcast. I just did the mentorship, just uploaded a video for that. That's private, that's for this mentor energies. That's really weird how the light is dark like that. I don't remember how to update it. We'll just leave it. So, alright, the Apollo 11 is its anniversary today. There are other subject matters I was going to go into, and I don't remember any of them. So I had a long discussion today. So it's like, I can't think of it. I can't remember anything. So, alright. For Apollo 11, we'll do a channeling energy about that, and where we're going. We got breakdown third dimension. We're always been in that direction. Yes, there are Nazis connected to 9/11. Well, yeah. Apollo 11, 9/11. Oh, that's weird. But Apollo 11, even Apollo, connected to the Greeks, connected to Atlantis, all kind of is interconnected in the long run. So Atlanteans helping us find ourselves. Atlantis is very connected to Egypt, NASA, some of the major corporations, not all of them. IBM is kind of like a black. It's more like a black, a black ops type of company now. It wasn't always that way. Well, yes and no, but IBM, I'll have to go into that in the future. That sort of came out of nowhere. Yeah, IBM has a lot to do. I think I mentioned this before in the past. A lot of these companies have a lot to do with time travel, messing with the timelines. And you have this like regular building, office building, IBM, for example, and it's actually doing a lot more than you might think. So, what's happened to that in the future? Feels like I can upgrade that. Yeah, it feels more darker than it has been in the past, but yeah. Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. See, I can do that. No, what the? No, that's too bad. We'll just leave it that way for right now. Yeah. I'm not seeing all the control. Oh, there it is. I think it gets too bright. Alright, we'll just leave it the way it is. I guess they keep doing like 1,000 updates. Yeah, I'm doing this on the recording. Sure, why not? So, might as well, especially talking about bizarreness, might as well screw around with the lights. I don't want it too bright, but I don't want it too dark. Yeah, whatever. Can't win. I guess you can move this over a little bit. Yeah, sort of. Okay, anyway. IBM, for example, there are other like bank buildings can do this too. Certain ones, especially in financial districts, can screw the timeline, especially in San Francisco, New York City, Chicago. They're all part of like portals that aren't exactly friendly to humanity, and you connect to vibrations and definitely see it. For example, a CIA building is another one. NSA building, also CIA, definitely. Obviously, people aren't fully aware of it. Pentagon, perfect example of a portal building. Screwing out with the dimensions, the timelines. Yeah, just so much heart chakra fire up. Yeah, so I never really connected to. This all just came out of nowhere. This wasn't exactly the subject matter I was going to go into, but technically it's connected to the Apollo program. So yeah, building like the Pentagon is definitely connected to timeline manipulations. Trying to get their way. Anunnaki, of course, there's other beings, of course, involved with it. Trying to slow us down, trying to manipulate the media to cover up what they're up to for obvious reasons. And they don't care if they make people sick, stupid, whatever it is, as long as you get out of their way. And yeah, they can do nanotechnologies, all different types. They would rather have us more transhuman too, so they can control us. I know that was all really positive and helpful, but that just sort of came through. So, the Apollo 11 is like a glimpse into our future when we're going to take space travel more seriously. We're slowly going into that direction. We have not taken the final leap, of course, but we are. The discussion of it feels like Russia is more advanced than people might realize. I don't think Russia's ever mentioned in any of this. Russia's quietly involved. Of course, when NASA needs to go to space with people, they send them to Russia. So, makes sense. There's a lot going on in Russia. All these governments that say they hate each other and all that. Think again. Maybe in the third dimension, maybe publicly, but there's a lot of connections there. That's they're all friends in the long run. So the Apollo 11 will try to bring in somebody to tap into that, and then we'll go into other subject matters, whatever the universe has to offer. Alright, for those new to all this, IvanTalk.com, we have private sessions. We have a scheduler here. We have Warner Hat channel. We have Google Hangouts, Zoom and channeling by phone. We have 7 days for delivery, sometimes 8. Same situation here. We have other channelers and healers I do recommend. You have social network and absolute awesomeness. Thank you for your support. It is bizarre, and it's about to get more bizarre over time. Nothing quickly, of course, but you never know. October, anything, September, October time. Feel more October, but doesn't mean things aren't going to happen in your September. Okay, so any beings of helpful of the Apollo program. Yes, there are a lot of Nordic energies involved. NASA likes to do things on their own, but yes, there was alien energies involved with all species. Positive or not even so positive. They all want to be involved with it because they want to see where you go. They want to see where you find what humanity will do with it. Now, with the space program shutting down or quietening down, was yes the end of an era, but also human consciousness. It kind of forced the Elon Musk to be born. If it wasn't for that, private space travel would never have been invented. Most likely not. It would have been, but further down the line. So it's more like humanity is taking more a hand of it. Yes, humanity is involved, but bring it more to the private sector so you can have more control over it, know more what's going on, even if you don't know anything. But, the grassroots of it is to make it more diverse. It is kind of like Netflix of space. All these aerospace companies going to space, they're all having their own little streaming services. They're all having their space shuttle services. Do you see the link there? Now, the Apollo mission, yes, was done with a lot of, Aztec alien beings, too, that are done in secret, of course. There are many, when you connect to NASA and other dimensions, it is a lot more lighter, a lot more open. In your third dimension, yes, it's a lot more closed down. It is technically the NSA of its time, too, because it is watching humanity. It is monitoring humanity to see, for various reasons. There's a lot more to NASA than just space. It has a lot to do with psychological connection, science, black ops operations of the human mind, DNA. There's much more going on than meets the eye. NASA, yes, might be a rocket company, but there's a lot more to it. Basically, there's areas of NASA where they do a lot of genetic engineering. They're not going to tell you about it for various reasons. Yes, even human and dolphin DNA being combined, where the human's more evolved. These things do exist. It is not being shown at this time. It's for various reasons. Now, is humanity ready for an awakening? Some are, most aren't. Some are on there every day. They haven't even figured out themselves, yes, to pull themselves out of difficulties of being them. Making amends. Not being controlled so much. well, people in the awakening community feel like it'd be easy for humanity to awaken, but so many humans here are under manipulated and control. If you saw it from a fourth dimensional perspective, you say you got a long ways to go, because many humans give away their power. Realizing you're in the awakening communities, as many of you call yourselves, humanity can change. It can disconnect from the control system, but choose not to. For various reasons, obviously. So this is why your awakening, your disclosure is not sped up. There's always going to be a different reason. There's so many people in their world, we can be here all day. They go one by one. Yeah, because many do have projects in the third dimension, where that project can only exist in the third dimension. It won't work in the fourth dimension. So who needs those aliens? So there is a lot to unlock in the third dimension, where you cannot unlock in the fourth dimension. The third dimension is still a treasure trove. So souls here want to discover what they need to. But many of you in the fourth dimensional energies, yes, are opening up that door, and it is much needed. Because third dimensional projects can't last forever. They have to close down eventually. And you move on. Now, timing of that is always open. But, yes, one might create one project after the other. But eventually, as all things, a reality does get old after a while. Many are tuned in the old vibrations of third dimension. It is like listening to old 70s music and you're in the year 3000. Some are just stuck to the old ways of reality. And some are stubborn as hell to change. It's been throughout your history forever. People do not like change. Some do, but you're in a minority. Many of you, yes, because some are still watching the old television, old ways. They ask for the old television shows to come. It's like, yeah, you're going into the future, but give me my Hawaii Five-0, even if it is updated and it sucks. Same to do with a lot of old entertainment values. It's just, you realize you're also going to more of a Greek mentality, a Greek, more free society. And I'm not fully reached it, but you are going to more of a controversial time, but also a freedom of ideas. You're not fully there because ideas are free, but not. It's not as hippie as it can be. Let's put it that way. But your Apollo 11 is, yes, one step of your evolution. We'll have to bring other beings to go into more details of that. Blessings. We are spirits, if you're wondering what the hell we are. Blessings. Greetings, we are Anunnaki. Your space program, your Apollo 11, was humanity being stubborn and thinking they can go into space and not have any repercussions of it. Now, realize how it got shut down so easily. Because technically society wasn't ready for the truth, and technically we saw you go into space in the 1970s, not when you did. So they sped things up faster than they should, at least from alien perspectives, but of course it depends on the alien that you're speaking to. They wanted, yes, they made it a race, but they didn't really necessarily have to do that, but it was basically a goal. And from our perspective, humanity got there sooner. We wanted them to be there. Everyone has their own perspective. But right now, yes, you're going... Now, realize you got kicked off the moon. You got kicked out of space, technically. Yes, you went into space, go around your space station, but, we kind of kept... It's like monkeys on the handlebars. We kept an eye on you. But now you are taking yourselves more seriously. Not entirely, but you are moving into that direction. A fourth dimension energy shows you're really taking things more seriously. So, yes, even fourth dimensional talk as magic, aliens, angels, like talking to an angel is crazy thinking on your planet. Religious wise, it's okay, but channeling those energies aren't really that popular. That is when your growing up is coming in. you're going to be taking all this more seriously as necessary. Because a chalk line has been crossed, there's a line in the ground, a chalk line, and you crossed it a long time ago for evolution. Many of you just made the leap. Many of you are making a spiritual leap by going to the moon. By channeling energies you probably shouldn't be channeling, then you get attacked and your mind goes crazy. Many of you are here also to remove negative energies here from channeling groups. There are quite a few, more than you might realize. Some, yes, are here to slow down your ascension. And many get tricked very easily. If you got tricked by a religion, getting tricked by a channeling group isn't so hard either. Now realize those that are part of this channeling group that does a lot of trickster energies they're getting money back. Meaning they are getting paid spiritually for their efforts. Of course, karmically, they're not doing themselves any favor. Not necessarily. Even if you're it's kind of like being part of a gang. You can call it a cult, but it's similar to being a part of a gang. And gangs aren't always so wonderful. It's not always fun to be part of a gang. Yeah, sometimes it pays well, sometimes it really sucks. So this gang is building karma, at least the founders of it. And it's not always the best karma, because if those that are causing harm to others, such as even channeling groups, like you take the same manipulation you add to others and manipulate, it does go back to the founders in the long run. Of course, they look the other directions. I don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't really swing that well. It does go back to the founders because they're originators of those energies. Now, they don't get karma for everything, but they do get the vibrations. Yes, once again, there are many kings of your past that lived a very wealthy life. They did a lot of dark vibrations during their time and even celebrated, but after their passing, it's like, what just happened there? So, same thing with channeling groups that are very corrupt. Some are here, yes, from the lower astral. They say from the higher, but most of them are from the lower. They're here to slow things down or stop it altogether. Mostly slow it down. They know how to manipulate where they make it all look fantastic and wonderful. And this is what many can't handle, the mind trick that goes along with that. It was like a fancy car, must be okay. Has no brakes, has no engine, but hey, sure, why not? Let's take it for a spin. That's what's going on. All style, no substance, basically. But people aren't really connecting to that spiritual side of themselves because they don't even know who their spiritual self is. If you tell them what spirit guides they have, what their names are, they just take it for granted. Sure, okay. Whatever you say, it must be true. But what if it isn't? Your space program also is going, your secret space program, it's up to you. If you want it to be true or not, it's up to you. Many of them find their identity in space. And many of you look at space, at least the information going on there is like, we're on Earth. We can deal with it some other time. Yes, there's a lot of manipulated energies in your space program for various reasons. Another way to slow down your growth. Once again, giving your reliance on others that deliver space program knowledge. Not to say all of it is false, but it's like you're going outside into space, but you're forgetting who you are here. It's like you're wow, that's so interesting, the space program. I'm so fascinated by it. Who the hell are my spirit guides? I don't know. It's a turtle and a carrot. Whoever this guy tells me it is. So, it's another way for you to go outward instead of inward. Now, if you connect to the space program from within, it's a different story. But if you're gathering from others from various reasons and not tapping into your version of it, that's where it gets kind of a misstep. So, it is a journey. Why you can't tap into certain vibrations of why certain space program, there's no proof, obviously. But there is, yes, it is alive and well, and more complicated than what the human can even comprehend. That's all we can say. We say to work on yourselves here, figure out the mechanics of who you are, and yes, get along with each other. It is a necessity for your society to grow. For you to all you don't have to agree, but realize there's much more going on than your everyday conversations. There's an extra layer to your conversations that can bring you into a more of a joyous energy. Now, those that aren't, it's called not ready, many of them are old-fashioned. And they haven't got through their own difficulties in the third dimension. Add a fourth dimension to it. It's like, I can't even figure out third dimension. And now you're giving me a fourth dimension. Eek. I'm just going to hide under the rug instead. Or just become more miserable. Because that's the thing. If you keep bringing up the spirituality, some people can lose their minds hearing it if they're not really ready to tap into their own vibration. So what is it? Spirituality, what is it? It is basically what you see in the fiction world of, fantasy, of wizards, fairies, science fiction. Now, spirituality is just you tapping into your version of that. It's like, what's your version of that movie looks like? What does the avatar beings look like? If you even see any at all. It's like you're tapping into your version of your existence. It's another way of looking at life. And when you're growing up in a certain cycle of living, because realize you're tapping more to yourself. Food consumption goes down. And music and energy within opens up. It's like you can become your own entertainment center. You become your own jukebox, technically. Because the vibrations of you are finally activating. You're like a waterfall of ideas. Not to say you aren't that now. But many creative artists go within all the time. So you basically find the artist within yourself. Doesn't mean you have to be, a great rapper or something. You have to be the next Eminem. But you find the art within you. The world within. And that is where you start to break through all of these controls. That's when you see more clearly into your politicians and the agendas that are here. That's when your third eye activates more. Your sensory opens up, your understanding, the movie within, the soul within. What do you see? If there's a trickster energy, you can most likely say, if something doesn't feel right, just send it away. But the movie within is what matters. The vibration, the version of Earth. Because as you open yourself up, other versions of Earth will start to speak to you. I see this person at Walmart, but that was my father in another past life on another planet. Another version of Earth. Where they had spaceships in the skies, etc. You're slowly going within. Not an easy path. Yeah, some of you, yes, you have your Area 51. People are running towards your Area 51. Some of you have been aliens in Area 51. And you are blocked from it. It's like, wait a minute, was I actually there? Oh, yes, you were. So, that's another way of tapping. Is like opening up your remote viewing within yourself, too. It's like, what does Area 51 look from within? Well, you tap into yourself. It's like, that resonates with me. What does it look like in the inside? What do I feel it looks like? That's how you unlock yourself. Same thing with the Masons. The Masons, your Illuminati, many of you have been cult leaders within the Masons. So you identify a cult easily because you've been a part of the biggest one. Not hard to catch them now, is it, when you're part of the biggest one in town? This is why some have This is why some of you can tap into legit energies and not so legit energies. So, unlegit ones, those that are not, the deceivers have a place too. It's just, some of them think they're the lightest beings on the world. In some ways they are true in that regard, because they keep the facade going. They keep the show going on. So they can be more positive, than positive people. Because they have to keep up appearances to hide their darkness. So, but it does force positivity to come through them. So many of you are here to tap into the inner workings of how this world operates. Where does Illuminati go at night? What seances are they doing? Because they're doing many. Yes, they even have churches doing their bidding. You're here to unlock that, break it free. Many are terrified of your Illuminati. That's why they laugh about it. Absolutely terrified, and they have reason being. Some of them actually lost their lives because of them. Another reason why people are scared of the truth. The truth is painful, because sometimes, as you see in your television, when you know the truth, sometimes you don't live very long because of that. That's why some are absolutely terrified. So, and some of you are just so stubborn that you killed me in that lifetime, I'm still going to do it. Most of you know you're protected these days, but that wasn't always the case. So, blessings to you in your journeys. Just yes, every so often, what is the story within you? In your Apollo 11, some of you have been astronauts there, some of you have been aliens assisting that connection. Due time, awakenings will be known there. Blessings.